But here it is. If you want to improve your financial results, here's what you got to do. You got to focus on action first. Action, right? Action. I mean, doing something. So you might be noticing my theme here tonight. Okay, action. And here it is. Once you get in action, then go gather information to support that action. What a lot of people do, people say, I'm doing my research, and it's cool. It's cool to do research. I love when people do research, but here's the thing. Don't research yourself into not doing nothing, right? And so I'm saying, take the first action. If your number one goal is to improve your credit, then do something on your credit and then go look up FICO 9, Ultra FICO, and all the other stuff that's going on. Do the action first, so that we can move ourselves forward. And I see Daniel Williams is chiming in that my credit is buying power. Yes, it is. Credit is buying power. Absolutely. That's why I think that was the number one answer in the survey. But here it is. You got to put the action first. Don't allow yourself to get analysis paralysis, as they say. But let me tell you something. If we're going to make this year our best financial year, we got to be doing something all the time. Okay? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about focus on action first, information second. Okay, I know that's kind of going against what people think, how people act, but hey, we're not doing what we used to do no more. We're in a new day. Okay, if you're in a new day, type in the chat. We are in a new day. All right, yes, we are in a new day. So here it is. Now you guys know we're going to talk about this. You have to make some financial behavioral shifts. Like I said before, this is not a webinar about budgeting, okay? I'm not talking about budgeting and the basic stuff. You guys know how to do that. We're talking about real deal implementation, transformational stuff, all right? So we got to make some behavioral shifts. What are behavioral shifts? That's the stuff that you think about that you actually do habitually. And we got to make sure that these behaviors are supporting what you say your best financial year is going to be. Yes, Aisha says a new dawn, a new day. Absolutely. So here it is. So if you're in a new day, then that means we got to have a new behavior. So let's check out what these are. First of all, let's make the financial goal visual. Okay? Make the financial goal visual. I don't care how you need to do it. Make your goal visual. If your goal is to clean up your credit, okay, then maybe you go to the office supply store and get a big poster board, right? And you put pictures together that it looks like you're cleaning up credit. Do something visual. The people have a disconnect and they don't even realize they're disconnecting with their financial goals. If you don't have a visual in front of you, you don't see it. And if it's in your mind, then guess what? It out of sight, out of mind. I'm telling you. That is so true. It's so true. You have to make your goal. I don't care what your financial goal is. Make all of them visual. Make them visual. Then, not only that, here's the next thing we got to do. Okay? We got to establish your financial intentions. Remember, here's that intention. Remember, we talked about earlier, making sure that we bridge that intention gap. Here it is again. You need to, now, once you look at that visual, whatever that visual is, you're looking at that visual, and when you look at it for real. Look at it for real and think, okay, if I'm looking at this, okay, so what's my intention? Okay, so understand what the what is, think about the when, the where, the why, the how, and the who. So when you're looking at this vision, because you're putting this vision together, you're establishing in your mind, in your spirit, in your subconscious, all the elements that it's going to take for that thing to manifest. You see, now we're doing a mind connection here. We're doing a spirit connection here. Yes, I'm saying that on this webinar. Why? Because I believe that not enough people give credence to the fact that money is spiritual. Okay? People don't like to think about that, but it is. Okay? Think about this. When people when it's time for offering time and church time, people get a little apprehensive. Sometimes people are like, okay, why are they asking for more money? They ain't asking for your money. They're just saying to obey what the Bible says. But we ain't preaching tonight on that, so I'm not going to go there. But my point is that people get a little hesitant around money, right? And if it wasn't spiritual, then wouldn't nobody have these issues around financial things, right? So here it is. Visualize it and then come up with these intentions. What are these intentions? The what, the when, the where, the why, how, and the who. And then here's the next one, folks. Don't miss this one. This is a powerful one. Commit to being in financial agreement with yourself. Okay. You got to agree with yourself, right? You have to agree with yourself. You do. Your physical man, your mental man, your spiritual man, or your physical woman, your spiritual woman, your mental woman, your emotional woman. You have to come into agreement with yourself. What does that mean? That means you got to look yourself in the mirror and you got to say to self that, you know what, self, we're going to do this because you deserve this. Self, you deserve to have an 800 credit score. You deserve to drive whatever you want to drive. You deserve to have a great retirement. You got to come into agreement with yourself. And what most people don't do, they don't come into agreement with themselves. Why? Because no one told them. They don't know to come in agreement with themselves. They're just trying to figure out how come stuff ain't working. Well, let me tell you, if you haven't made the connection within your own self, with the center of your being, with what you're trying to accomplish, let me tell you something. If you haven't come into agreement with yourself, then you're in conflict with yourself. And so a lot of us are operating in financial conflict, which is causing friction, which is causing the things not to come to pass. Ask me how I know, y'all. I'm telling you, this is amazing that we have to come into agreement with ourselves so that everything about us, our thoughts, our mind, our physical being, mental being is all on the same page so that we can be in agreement with ourselves. Because the folk out there, let me tell you something, y'all. Y'all know this already. You already know that people out there that don't understand your vision, they don't even know how to respond to some of the things you're talking about, right? Because if they don't see it for themselves, they certainly ain't gonna see it for you. They might smile, they might say that's nice, but let me tell you something. If you are in agreement with yourself, with God, with your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, if everything is in alignment, guess what? It's powerful. Now, here's the next thing you got to do. Now, these are behavioral shifts. We're talking behavioral shifts now. I told y'all this wasn't about budgeting tonight, okay? This is about some deep stuff. Now, here it is. Personalize the experience, okay? Write a benefit statement that energizes you. Think about it. If you're going to set a goal to have your best financial year ever, and that's going to be made up of different various financial goals that you want to hit, so part of this process is for you to make it very, very attractive to yourself. So what I want you to do is when you are writing this goal and when you put your goal in visual form and when you figure out the intentions and you commit to yourself and you come into agreement with yourself, now I want you to write a benefit statement that energizes you. Now I'm going to tell you something. The statement that energizes me, I'm just going to give you mine. I have an overall one, okay? And my benefit statement is, I am the best at what I do, and my gift is making room for me, okay? And so that means I can go wherever I want to go. I can do whatever I want to do because I am that I am. That's my benefit statement. Now, that's got a lot of implications to it, but I say this all the time. If you were to ask my wife, okay, you would have asked my wife, what's the thing that she hears me say the most? And this is it. What I just recited to you is what I say. I am the best at what I do. I can go wherever I want to go. I could do whatever I want to do because this is I am that I am. It is what it is. That's mine. You make yours up, okay? You make your own benefit statement. But that energizes me. Because now I'm not going to go here, but I just want to say something really quickly that we've been oppressed for so long. African-American men been oppressed, right? African-American women been oppressed, right? Poor people oppressed. There's all kind of oppression. So how do we break free from oppression? In our mind first, okay? So I'm free. I am free. I want you to be free. So what you do when you're thinking about these things financially, I want you to free yourself financially in your head, in your mind, in your heart, because if you do these things, then everything else is going to become automatic. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. So these behavioral shifts, these are the behavioral shifts that you can do.